receiver already getting everything, not knowing that only receive half of it. And if the sender doesn't get the right information, what will happen? It will affect the flow of communication and even affect the work. So the sender must be sure that the message his or her is sending gets to the sender very well. And there are two things. The message must be clear enough, and the sender also must be able to understand it. If the message is not clear enough and the receiver does not get it, it can cause a serious problem. And most of the time, we normally have issues with communication. You talk about communication gaps. If the information doesn't flow well, it will affect a lot of things. We will talk about the value chain across the organization of the institutes. If the information does not get well down, it will not well and it will affect series of other aspects. I was talking about the feedback. We have constructive feedback and we have constructive feedback. When you talk about this feedback, most of the time, it is the feedback that normally brings problem. You as the sender, you already send, believing you have sent your message. But if you are not getting a good feedback, or the feedback you are getting is not the way you are getting it, then we need to check along the line. Recently, permit me, I'm going to use this example while preparing for this presentation. I've sent the abstract days ago, but they did not receive it. I was shocked when they were calling me back again. Yes, the abstract. I was looking. I've sent it 5 days ago. What happened? And the person with me said, check your sender. We brought it out. We saw it at the sender. It was there. The message, we opened it. Then I quickly went to meet the receiver. He said, they did not receive it. We checked the phone. He said, he did not see it. So the point I'm bringing out is this. You need to understand. It's not that you send message and you sit down. I think what I needed to have done is to cross-check with him or call him or her and say, did you receive the abstract? So communication is very, very vital. And we have different types of communication. It can be written, it can be verbal. Even looking at me, at times we may be communicating. And we have different sending email. There are some that are interactive. Instant, you get your message. Using the instant messages, you get it. There are some with email. You may get it immediate or later on. So we have to devise the right communication with different people. We must make sure that when we are communicating, the information reaches the sender and it is clear and the sender can understand it. If the sender doesn't understand it, it will cause problem. So we need to be able to communicate very well. It's very essential in our activities, not only in our workplace, even at home, in our business, even in conferences and other attending conferences, workshop. If your mentor doesn't communicate well with the mentee, it may not work very well. And another thing I like to bring in for under communication, we must use technology wisely in these days of digital communication. Then we must practice active listening. Some people, before you say one, they already answer you 10 times. So when you don't listen well, how will you understand what the person is communicating? And there are some people, they already have what they want to do in their mind. No matter what you tell them, it's still their mind they will say. You have to respond timely and thoughtfully. Timely and thoughtfully. And you need to schedule a dedicated communication time. and we make ourselves available. We need to make ourselves available for effective communication. So communication strategy to specific needs of your work and personal life. The one you use at home may be different from the one you are using at work. So you need to be specific in your communication device strategy. This aspect, I need to mention about it. The strategy, avoid negative energy. We need to embrace a culture that steers clear of negative energy, discourage on every conflict, and unnecessary defensive competition. Instead, let's foster collaboration, mutual respect, constructive growth for all. This negative energy can break, can mar, can destroy the whole organization if it's not well put in place. Because when you talk about negative energy, we have different examples we can give. Some are there to demotivate you, to discourage you, to get you down. But it's you that will be determined. There's no way. I will not allow anybody to force me down. You understand? And not only that, there are some people, they are silent shadows. The silent shadows, they represent the concealed practices of idea theft, information hoarding, and credit misattribution. Honestly speaking, let's be fair on this area. If we can handle the negative energy and we all bring in positive energy, the institute will not be like this. We are talking about international organization, but we can also make our own like that. It is we that will determine, this is the way I want now to be. And we avoid unnecessary negative energy. We need to avoid it. There are times, and I keep on saying it, Mr. A or Mrs. A cannot come to me and tell me this. I will say, wait. Or, okay, let me discuss with the other person. Because there are times you need to be very fair. When you hear from one side and work on that one, without giving rooms to the other person, it can affect the morality of that person. Especially when the person is sure that he or she is the one telling the truth. That's number one. Number two is, there are other ones you can say. I mean, nothing stops us as we are here now here to discuss, to deliberate on how to take NIOT up. But I can assure you, if there's anything we say, if the other party is not there, that is supposed to be confidential. Before you know, even before you get out of, it's already out. Those things will not help the system. Confidential is because we know you are in that position. I can confide in you. I can trust in you to handle this. And there are times people only have half information. They did not get the full information and they work on it. There's no way if I come to you, I will tell you the good aspect of mine. I will let you know that will favor me. Hardly do you see people coming to say that they have done this or they have done that one. Nobody will tell you that. And it will not help the system. What we are saying, let's hear from the two sides. Let's be here, and before we give him whatever he wants to do, before we work on it, we need to avoid negative energy. Negative energy can be stressful. But one thing about it, those people who are doing it, they don't get tired. They don't get tired. If they don't achieve it this way, they will look for another way. They are always bent to destroy the other people. But today, with this presentation, I want to tell you, it's not the best. Putting your energy on negative things. Why don't you put your energy on positive things? The time you go about gossiping, why don't you use it to enhance yourself? Why don't you use it to do your assignment? Why don't you use it to write papers? Why don't you use it to have good discussion with your boss or with your people under you? What we are saying, the beginning of destruction is when people have negative energy. It doesn't pay, and it will never pay. Having said all, at this time, I want to say, let's harness the power of positive energy. When you employ these strategies that I've discussed today, it will pave the way for institutional progress in horticultural crops research through innovation, implementation, impact, and relentless pursuit of productivity. Don't forget, small steps inevitably evolve into great strides towards excellence. I'm here to say at this point, say thank you to the Executive Director, Dr. Mohamed Lawal Atunda, to the internal member committee, to the internal management committee members, and also to you staff for listening to this. And I hope we are going to make use of it to take Nile higher to greater heights. Please allow me also to say thank you to Anu. He was the one that prepared this PowerPoint. And also for my boy and your leader for the encouragement all the time. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Let's keep those hands going, let's keep those hands going. She deserves it, she deserves it, she deserves it. I was almost asking for extra sheet because my sheet of paper are finished. I'd like to hand over to the chairman for the seminar session. Before that, let's give another round of applause for Dr. Olagorite Awinola Adetula, Director of Research, for this wonderful presentation on elevating excellence, unlocking the path to success. As we move into the comments and question sessions, the chairman side.